When it comes to Sasuke Uchiha, it's natural to think about the coolest jutsus in all of Naruto. This guy has always been the most elegant, the most badass, especially when facing weaker enemies. And when Sasuke is at his peak, that's when he surpasses every other character. But then, out of all the weapons in his arsenal, which are the most mind-blowing? Let's find out right now. In Sasuke's most amazing moments, he was always dominating his enemies, unlike some characters who shine more when they're at a disadvantage, like Rock Lee or Naruto, who need to overcome something. There are those who shine when they're invincible. Madara is the best example I can give, due to the invincibility aura of his character. But Sasuke doesn't fall behind. After all, he became more powerful than Madara. Even today, some people still consider Madara in his normal state stronger than when he became the Jinchuriki of the 10 Tails, simply because of his high invincibility aura in his normal form, and how he was surpassed several times after his transformation. Meanwhile, Sasuke remained undefeated for a large part of Shippuden after the time skip. Remember? That Sasuke was amazing. He kept that badass style until he was really tested against Itachi and other occasions against Killer Bee, Danzo, and came out on top in all those encounters. So you asked me about Sasuke's arsenal. What are the most amazing abilities of Uchiha? Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and like to support our project. Amaterasu. Needs no introduction. Let's be honest, everyone knows Amaterasu, the technique that literally defined Sasuke for the rest of the story. The ability to summon a fire that never stops burning no matter what. Man, Amaterasu burns even fire. You have to be really badass to burn fire. The first time we saw Amaterasu was in the original Naruto, used by Itachi, and this technique came with Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan after the fight with his brother. And it's undeniable that Sasuke surpassed Itachi in using Amaterasu. The various ways Sasuke used the black flames in combat made him even more loved and hated by the fans. When Sasuke used Amaterasu against Killer Bee, we saw how dangerous this ability really is. Chidori Current. Remember Sasuke's encounter with the new Team 7? That was amazing. Naruto, Sakura, Yamato, and Sai finally found Sasuke in Orochimaru's hideout, and Uchiha humiliated all four. Seriously, it was a total disaster. And that's where we see the Chidori Current. When Sai and Yamato went on the attack, Sasuke created an electric shock that covered his body. This shock is strong enough to affect the nervous system of anyone caught in the area. So if you get close to Sasuke, it's game over. You won't stop his next Chidori move. Black Chidori. Speaking of nostalgia, there's nothing better than talking about the Valley of the End, Naruto vs. Sasuke. The Fox's chakra against the curse mark. That's where we saw the coolest Chidori of the entire series for the first time, and it has other names, but I think Black Chidori is the best of them. In general, it's just a regular Chidori, but it gains Sage Chakra, either from the curse mark or from the Sage of the Six Paths. I won't deny that I love this Chidori even more than the Chidori with Amaterasu. The technique is a silver lightning bolt. Can it get any cooler than that? Chibaku Tensei. The power of the Rinnegan is out of this world, literally, and the most prominent ability of this eye is precisely the Chibaku Tensei, planetary devastation. You're going to say that creating a gravitational orb and forming a planetoid isn't a big deal. This attack serves both to seal enemies and to be used as a projectile. But I'd say sealing is the best function of this technique. After all, the most powerful version of this technique, the Six Paths Chibaku Tensei, was able to seal Kaguya, the rabbit goddess of the series, on the moon and in another dimension. It worked twice. You could argue that this ability doesn't make it into the top 10 strongest powers in Naruto. Doesn't matter. This technique definitely makes the list. Unfortunately, I admit that Sasuke lost this ability due to the loss of the Rinnegan, but seeing Sasuke use this technique against the tailed beasts during the war and against Momoshiki in Boruto, seriously, it gives chills every time Sasuke fights seriously. Kirin. Everyone was excited during the fight between Sasuke and Itachi, and the moment everyone thought the battle was over was after Kirin appeared. Seriously, what a sensational technique. And it has a very important meaning in the series because it was created with one purpose: to kill Itachi Uchiha. It wasn't about killing Naruto or Deidara, and certainly not Sakura. This move was truly meant to kill Itachi and end Sasuke's revenge once and for all. Did it work? Of course not, but if it weren't for Susanoo, Itachi would have been fried by that move. I'm a simple person. If a character manipulates real lightning and shoots all the lightning from a storm at an enemy, I'm going to think they're badass. Indra's arrow. You could argue that Kirin was the strongest electric power in the Naruto universe, but when we talk about Indra's arrow, there's no contest. This is the most powerful lightning release technique in the Naruto universe by far. Look at this power, a perfect Susanoo with the chakra of the 6 paths and the strength of the 9-tailed beasts, all to create a giant arrow with the power to create climatic catastrophes. I don't need to say more. This jutsu appeared only once, and I doubt Sasuke will bring Indra's arrow back in Boruto. You can't do it without the Rinnegan. Susanoo. You knew Susanoo was going to be on the list, right? And it makes perfect sense. This is the ability we saw Sasuke use the most in the series, and it evolved gradually. It's pretty obvious that Chidori is the jutsu that received the most variations, tied with Amaterasu. But Susanoo was the one that grew the most. Literally the first time we saw Sasuke's Susanoo was at the summit of the Kages, where he manifested the cost of this colossus. Soon after, he could cover the upper part of Susanoo with protection. After obtaining the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke unlocked the complete Susanoo, creating legs and literally becoming a mega sword. And after obtaining the power of Hagoromo, he released the final form of Susanoo, the perfect Susanoo. The peak of this technique by far. This is Sasuke's coolest technique. And yes, Sasuke probably still has Susanoo in his arsenal, even after losing everything. Everything suggests that Sasuke can and will use Susanoo, so he'll always have that card up his sleeve. Whether he lost the perfect form or not, we'll find out.